Hi everyone, it's Paul here, and I wanted to say a few words about someone called Tom Eckersley. Some of you may have heard of Tom Eckersley. He was a famous poster designer and enjoyed a long and distinguished career designing posters for, amongst others, London Transport. He designed his first poster for London Transport at the beginning of the 1930s with his colleague Eric Lombers, and designed his last poster for London Transport in the 1990s. So he is the designer who has the longest professional relationship with London Transport. That's quite an achievement. At the same time, Tom did a number of other remarkable things which contributed greatly to the development of graphic design in Britain. In the 1940s, during the Second World War, he was instrumental in directing and contributing to the safety poster campaign for the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, and that transformed the workplace. So that was a very important humanistic development in design, and that was practical. In the 1950s, he was amongst the first British designers to join the Alliance Graphique, which was a European and then global network of design professionals where they met up with each other and had conversations, and the conversation about design just got bigger. And then from the 1950s onwards, Tom made an absolutely crucial contribution, along with some other people, Richard Hollis and some others, to the development of graphic design education in Britain. Tom was associated with the London College of Printing and worked there through the 60s and 70s. And when you think about the contribution that graphic design was able to make to the development of modern British culture in the widest sense, to shopping, to hospitality, to all sorts of aspects of metropolitan life in cities and things, you begin to see that actually that the development of young graphic designers and starting people off on a professional career is a very, very substantial contribution. So I think, taken overall, those four different contributions to the development of aspects of graphic design in Britain during the 20th century marks Tom out as a remarkable figure and someone who deserves to be much more widely known. I have to say that Tom Eckersley has always been quite well known in relation to the specific history of poster design in Britain, and he's been well known in relation to the London College of Printing, London College of Communications, as is now. And it's my great pleasure to introduce this book, which has been published by Batsford Books, which is an imprint of Pavilion. And you may have noticed that that book is authored by myself, Paul Rennie. And we're hoping that this book is going to make Tom's work, particularly his work in silkscreen from the 1960s onwards, with its sharp edges and flat colours, it's going to make his work much more widely known. And I have to say that Batsford have made the book beautifully in square format, which is kind of lovely because I'm a great fan of square format books, and I didn't ask for that. And it came out in that way. So hurrah for them. I'd like to say thank you very much to all my friends and colleagues who've helped me along the way on this, at LCC, at Batsford, and not least of all to Karen, who's put up with my interest in Eckersley, to Lynn Trickett, who got me started on understanding why Tom was such an interesting designer, and I guess also to my dad, who started me off on an interest in design that was linked, I think, to its progressive and humanistic potential. And I'm still a believer in that. It's sustained me over 40 years, and I'd like to say thank you very much to Tom Eckersley, my kind of genius, for taking me along with him. So thank you, Tom, and thanks to everybody for a great adventure and a lovely book, and I hope it's an enormous success. Thank you. Bye-bye.